I lend over 4,000 US dollars. It's been more than 5 months. If nothing happens, I will go to authorities. Don Senti opens his Discord first thing in the morning, and this is what he sees. This isn't a hater. This is someone who did business for thousands of dollars with his Roblox game.
Arise.
At the time, marketed to be the best Roblox game of all time. At the same time, the promotion of Arise is racking up millions of views, the Discord community hitting 100,000 members, all waiting for a game that's probably never going to drop. From the outside, Arise looks like just another delayed Roblox project. On the inside, it's a mix of money drama, embezzlement, broken contracts, a $4,000 side deal, and a full-on war for ownership. This is the story of Arise, and how the biggest Roblox game fell apart on some DMs on Discord. There's two people I have to introduce you to. Don Senti, who is a content creator and the main face of Arise. He is the quote-unquote rich guy in this scenario who will be paying the salaries and commissions his manager hires. This manager is a project manager for Roblox games who came up with the idea of the game. He hired almost every developer, owns a Roblox group, and decides where Don's money goes to.
March 2024.
Vort messages Don with a business idea, a Roblox solo leveling inspired game. In the chat message, you can clearly tell who's taking on which role. As you can tell, Don being the POV of these screenshots, he's unaware of the scene of Roblox, but he gets to make the final decisions because it's his money. Vort is the expert in this scenario. They talk about it and decide on a battleground style game. How much you think is fair? I already have a lot of other games in development. Most of you guys don't know this, but compared to Steam games, Roblox games are insanely easy to develop and cost way less, and they can also give you a way better ROI. Roblox games are cheap though, not as near as the Steam games, plus you'll make it back, and even more. It should be around
$800.
Just let me calculate everything. Wait, is that 800 each dev? Oh no, that's for the entire team. In the end, Don agrees. Don tells Vort he'll fund everything. Vort says he'll gather the team, make the server, and handle the community. If you've been paying a little bit of attention, you might have realized there's no official contracts here. It's just Don pays the bills and Vort controls everything. They also talk about a 50-50 split in revenue once the game releases, and all of this leans on the trust they have in each other and in the project. Don starts working on trailers, TikToks, YouTube videos. The Arise Discord grows from nothing to 100,000 members in no time. People are excited, and with the new season of solo leveling airing at the time, this is perfect. But this is also where stuff starts getting a little bit shady. Let me put it in this perspective where it's really easy to understand. In this scenario, you are Vort. You're browsing on platforms like X and certain developer Discord servers for a perfect fit to your team. You find a developer who wants to work for you, so you tell Don, your boss, how much the developer charges. Don sends you that money instantly, and you use that money to wire the devs in exchange of the assets they've made for you. You keep track of all the invoices for taxes for Don. Over time, Don quotes that he has spent over 15,000 Great British Pounds, which is now close to
$20,000.
Later in time, a second project manager gets hired. We'll call him K. K starts DMing some of the developers you've hired directly to ask about the money they've received from you, and K quickly caught onto the scam you've been performing this entire time. Whenever a developer would come to you, they would give you a price, for example, 3,000 US dollars. You DM Don and ask him for 3K. You tell Don to send it in Great British Pounds because the developer is British, which is a lie. Don sends you 3,000 Great British Pounds, which totals to 4,000 US dollars. Since the dev only needs 3,000 US dollars, you are now left with
$977.
This is fraud. You're using the currency exchange difference to keep some money for yourself. Although you use that extra money for other developers, you never tell Don, which is still pretty unfair. He calls this embezzlement. Vort says he didn't do any of this so-called embezzlement. It's all a big misunderstanding because all the money he gets still goes to other developers. It could just all be a big misunderstanding, but there's another situation lurking around the corner that might prove that Vort isn't as stupid as he claims to be. In Don's document on Vort, there's a section about a developer called Kennedy. Kennedy is a Minecraft developer and closed the deal with Vort for $4,000. That money gets sent to Arise, and in return, the Arise Discord server will promote Kennedy as Minecraft server. Vort takes the $4,000, but he never promotes the Minecraft server once. Kennedy tries to contact Fort for months, most of the time with no response. So eventually, Kennedy DMs the second owner.
Don Sanity.
He DMs Don Senti saying, I lend over 4,000 US dollars. It's been more than 5 months. If nothing happens, I will go to authorities. He says he just wants to be paid back and doesn't want to drag other people into it. This alone is pretty bad. Someone feels scammed and is ready to take legal action against Arise. Fort responds to this situation, saying this has nothing to do with Don Senti. It's just a personal issue between him and Kennedy. But from the outside view, it doesn't look personal at all. The deal used Arise's name, it uses Arise's Discord server. This promotion was meant to be seen by Arise's player base, and Don Senti, being the co-owner, didn't know anything about this promotion at all. Compared to the previous embezzlement, this is pretty hard to brush off. With all of this drama happening, we haven't even talked about the actual game.
Arise.
According to Don Senti, the developers Vort hired and paid with his money are starting to become a problem. There's a screenshot going around about one of the animators, who apparently owns 6% of the game. Someone jokes, Cinna, 6% in the group, no animations done in a week, a month, a year, no messages in the Discord, 1,000 pings they ignored, 1,000 morals reduced. It's funny, but it shows frustration between the devs. Don says Fort's developers ignored messages, missed deadlines, sometimes even left after getting paid, forcing the entire team to rebuild from scratch. On top of that, there's now a release window. On April 7th, 2025, Ford sends a message saying, even if the game doesn't drop in April, testing definitely will. Testing will drop in April. So now, people are expecting testing to drop in April, of course. April ends, no testing, no release, nothing. The only person the public sees is Don. He's the face in the trailers, the TikToks, so he's the only one getting threats about scamming. Ford stays in the background. Most of the players don't even know who he is or what he does. He claims the project was moving fine at first, but it all got ruined when Kay and a third manager joined. They took bigger roles and they turned Don against Ford, or so he says. He shows a group chat where Don is clearly done being polite, calling for names like bad manager, who literally failed at everything except for community control. These messages truly show how toxic the work environment became, but they don't answer the deeper question that lies within Don's head. If he's the one paying for everything, he's the one building the community, and is literally learning how to dev because Vorts developers take too long, why does Vorts still own the Roblox group and Discord server? As the arguments get worse, Don and others push for contracts. They simply don't trust Fort anymore and want everything from this point forward to be written down officially. Fort says he doesn't like how the contracts are being handled. His percentage of the game was already reduced without warning. The contracts feel like pressure, and apart from the so-called embezzlement accusations, he feels like he did nothing to gain this distrust from his coworkers. Don wants contracts to ensure his money doesn't go missing. Fort refuses it because it feels like a setup. All trust is gone. Near the end of 2025, Don reaches his limit. He sends a DM to Fort. I'm done with you, bro. List 5 things you've done in the last 6 months that prove why you deserve ownership of the groups. Ford answers with a list. He basically said he's the one who came up with the idea. He tried warning Don for the devs that did them dirty, he handled damage control, and had his own bank issues but still helped with payments out of his own pockets. Don instantly responds, disproving every point Fort just says. He said the idea means nothing. His vision for the game was faulty and low quality. He says if he had given that money to anyone else, the game would have probably been out by now and way better quality. Then Don sends another message and lists why he's so angry with Fort. He said, you stole money from me, you lied to me, you collected money under the name of Arise. But it's fine, I forgave all of that. The thing that gets me the most is how often you ignored me during the early development phase. He then tells Fort this last thing. He wants full ownership of both the Discord and Roblox group. Don knows that if Ford passes him ownership, Ford actually feels the slightest bit of remorse, and it shows that they still trust each other. But Ford doesn't agree at all. He says Arise, Ford's idea of the game, made Senti blow up in the first place, saying he was nothing before
Arise.
JS, the other manager, sides with Don, and Fort literally tells Don he would be nothing without him. This is the fight right now. Don Senti thinks he's the main owner, and so thinks about everyone else who has ever heard of Arise. Everyone knows Arise from that one guy on Instagram that brags about it 24/7. After the disagreement, stuff moves to the DMs. Don is asking Vort when they're going to split. But Vort never agreed to the split. Don wants to keep it respectful, and he wants to announce to their 100,000 members that they're parting ways, and that the people who see Don as the real owner can join Don's new Discord server. Vort keeps delaying this, and according to Don, the real answer never comes. There's video evidence of Don Senti going through his DMs and showing that Vort never gave an answer. Because Don never got an answer, just in case, he started taking transcripts of the DMs between him and Vort, and he put them in an 18-page document, which this video is based off of. You can find it in the description below. Don never intended to publish this document.
November 30th.
Don wakes up to his permissions removed on the Discord, causing him to make his own Discord server and publish the document. All developers side with Don, and Don now sits in his own Discord server with all the developers and assets, and Vort has practically nothing, except for his own document he dropped on Don Senti shortly after he published his. This isn't the first time a Roblox game gets ruined over Discord relationships. This happens often, and if you're interested in other situations like these, make sure to turn on post notifications because I love making videos just like these. If you have any scammers you want to expose, hit me up on Discord and we'll make something happen. Thank you for watching all the way until the end, and feel free to leave your view on the situation in the comments.